Right now, the cryptocurrency market is going down, but not for the reason you might be thinking. In this video, I'm going to explain exactly what's going on in the market, why it's going down so much, and most importantly, when this will all be over. There are a lot of people who think that the market crash is due to things going around the world right now. So I'm going to tell you the truth in this video because there are some very important things to talk about. Your help is very much appreciated. As always, thanks a lot. Thank you to everyone who liked the movies and signed up for the channel. These two easy things help me a lot. Also, if you know of a good place to buy XRP, please let me know. You can find my best exchange uphold in the video's description. So let's get started, and I hope you all enjoy what's coming up. To start this movie, I'd like to talk about what's going on in the market right now. You'll notice that I'm being very careful with my words. A lot of people have been wondering why I haven't been doing as many live streams in the morning. The real reason is that I believe I said something on one of those streams that got me a warning. I'm just being very careful and waiting for that warning to go away before I go live again. That's all there is to it. The only reason is that I don't want to risk getting my channel reported for something really silly. I should be very careful about what I say in this video, and please know that the real reason is that I don't want to get in trouble on YouTube. Let us get right to it. There are clearly some pretty big battles going on in the world right now, which is making the market panic. The most interesting thing about this whole event is that the cryptocurrency market and markets around the world are having a rough time right now, especially the cryptocurrency market, but things can be made very easy if you just zoom out and look at them, right? People are either sure of what they want or sure of themselves. So that's where investments are mostly high. There are also times when you don't have much faith and are afraid. And that's usually when purchases lose half of their value. If you listen to smart investors, they'll tell you that the best time to buy is when people are scared and unsure. People who are too sure of themselves and too excited are usually the best to sell to. This isn't exactly specific advice on what you should do, but it's something to think about when you look at situations like this and think, okay, well, everyone's freaking out. Why are they getting so scared? Now, there are times when it might be okay to worry, right? Say tomorrow, I came up with a new technology that was much better than cryptocurrency, then I could say that there was something very wrong with the XRP system, Bitcoin, or the cryptocurrency industry as a whole. I told everyone, hey, let's just use this instead of these crypto assets. You know, that could be a good reason to be scared, right? All of a sudden, the things we thought were going to be very important aren't that important after all. There are also other options. That's not the case at all here. There is a war going on somewhere in the world, which is making the markets dangerous and uncertain. And for some reason, the altcoin market is more volatile, which means it goes up and down more when these things happen. Let me take you back a few months, or maybe even longer. A few months ago, we saw a very interesting fight somewhere else in the world, and we were speculating a lot of the same things we're speculating about now. Will the United States get involved? How big is this? Is this going to be the next big world event or war that will involve all of us and use really big weapons, right? Everything like that. That theory was being put forward by a lot of people, and everyone was scared. The markets were going down. Things were crazy. Everyone was chatting about the US's part. Didn't happen in the end, right? Then it just kept going, and it turned out to be more of a local problem. I think the same thing is going to happen here. I know that different people feel that way. People want the US to take part. They would rather the US stay out of it. All of these different things. We can see right now, though, that most people don't want to be involved. And most of the time, the US is kind of doing things, but mostly behind the scenes, so it's not enough to really start a world conflict. This is the line we're walking, and it's always a line that makes people nervous, but I think we'll be able to keep it. That's something I'm pretty sure of. And that's how you think about it, right? Well, what was the end result of the last fight, which started about 8 to 9 months ago? Then it kind of died down, and people stopped thinking about it and moved on to other things. Then some people said, okay, things aren't that bad. It turned out that this didn't turn into a disaster, and investments went up a lot. I think that time is a lot like the one we're in now. It's also important to know who you're up against. A lot of people in big companies think that events like this are great. We are going to put out some news stories. People will be very excited about this event. People should start guessing why this will make the market drop so much that we can buy their bags for less money. A big part of how these markets work is like that. These big companies know that people buy things when they are scared. That's when they buy. So when the market is down in red and it looks like something terrible is going to happen, that's when they come in and pick up all the pieces. It has nothing to do with the cryptocurrency market in particular. They understand that. They are sure that this will not have any effect on XRP, Bitcoin, or any of these other coins. Most of the time, it makes the point that these things are needed stronger. I've already talked about this in a different movie, but there is no trust if everyone is always at odds with each other. That makes a lot of problems. These countries will still have to do business with each other in the end. They need to pay each other anyway. In terms of money, there will still need to be contact. Even though we live on the same world and trade goods with each other, we may not trust each other, right? No one should come up with a surprise move. That can happen when there is central control over the tools that people use for business, right? People will probably be hesitant to do business with me if I decide at any time that I don't like one of you and can just delete your money. We might not like each other, but we could still do business with each other as long as we both agreed to follow neutral rules that neither of us controlled. For example, I might not like you, but if I need to trade a good or service for money with you, we can still do it, and it's not a big deal because we don't have to worry about the bad effects that might happen from doing business with each other. That is the world we are going to. The worst thing that could happen with blockchain technology or XRP is that everyone around the world agrees on it, everyone gets along, and everyone says, hey, let's just use the US dollar, right? Everyone is happy with the United States, so let's all work together with them. We don't have to worry about anything because they've always been nice to us. There would be no need for a decentralized blockchain or decentralized neutral assets then, because everyone would agree on one thing: we believe it. In that direction, we seem to be going the wrong way. We don't always trust other groups, businesses, or countries. We don't even trust each other very much in the United States. There are people who don't want the fiat dollar. There are people who don't want USDC. There are people who don't want RLUSD. There are people who don't want to link. That's right, people still don't trust each other even within their own country.